Oh, thanks so much for clicking on my video. Welcome to my channel, Lovely Moments Creating. If you are new here, consider joining the family by clicking that subscribe button and remembering the notification bell so that you will be reminded every time I upload a video. My name is Jenny, and on this channel I create budget-friendly home decor that's easy to do. So if you want to see some of my creations, keep watching. Thank you all again so much for tuning in and watching this video. For the first DIY, the items from the Dollar Tree is these little mini pumpkins, and they have the little wire on the back of them. I'm also going to be using these little hooks that look like they're wood. I have 4 of these dials. I have 2 of the long ones and 2 of the short ones that they sell at the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to be using some of the Dollar Tree wood pieces. I'm going to be using Dollar Tree wood pieces for all of my DIYs today. So I have 2 of those size, and I have 5 of these longer ones. I thought these were great for the Dollar Tree to start selling them because I love wood. I have some fabric here, and I picked this up from Walmart for $1.97. And for 97 cents, I have that little greenery bunch from Walmart, and I'm going to be using that Early American stain by Mini Wax. Now what I'm going to do first is attach these dials together. And so if you have a longer dial, that'd be great, but I didn't have a long one. So in order to get the length I need, I have to hot glue these together to get the length. But what I liked is that I didn't have to cut anything. The 2 short ones lined it up great. And so what I'm doing is just taking the short one, and I'm going to hot glue it right next to one of the longer ones. And then now what I'm going to do is take that longer one, and I'm going to attach it to the short one that I just added. And this gave me the exact length that I needed. And so once I attach that one, just so it can all be even, I'm going to take that other small one and attach it to the side. And that worked out perfect because this is the exact length that I needed. I'm just going to put that to the side and start assembling my frame. And so I'm just going to take these long wood pieces. I'm going to put the 2 shorter ones to the side, and I'm going to take these longer pieces and just create my frame. So I'm going to have 2 on the side, 1 in the middle, 1 at the top, and 1 at the bottom. I'm just getting everything lined up and making sure that everything is nice and level. I just have to pull off a little tag that I left on one of them. So I'm going to use my ruler to help me estimate the middle of everything. And then after I get everything lined up the way I want them, I am going to attach these using some hot glue and some of my wood glue. I'm attaching the bottom and the top one first, and then I would go in and attach the one in the middle, and then after that I'll go and attach the one on the end. And after I get this one attached, what I'm going to do is take those 2 smaller wood pieces, and I'm going to use those to create the piece down the middle, but I am going to have to use my saw to cut them down. So first what I'm going to do is measure how much I need to cut off, and then I'll just get my saw and cut them down. And then after I get everything cut down, what I'm going to do is just make sure that everything is a nice fit. And then I'm going to take my hot glue and attach them together. Once I attach my hot glue, I am going to take my staple gun and go on the back around this piece, stapling everything together so that my frame could be nice and secured. And so I'm adding the staples everywhere where I hot glued the wood pieces together. And then after I get that complete, I'm going to flip it back over, use my Dollar Tree sanding block to sand over this to make sure that everything is nice and smooth before I add my wood stain. I'm just going to take some paper towel and add my wood stain, and that is the mini wax in the color Early American, and I'm going to go over this entire piece. I'm also going to stain over those dials that I glued together as well. And once I get all of that complete, what I'm going to do now is measure my fabric. So I'm going to use this buffalo check fabric to create some curtains for my frame. Now I'm just lining it up to see how long I need it to be, and then I'm going to cut it down the middle so I can have two panels. I'm going to fold the ends and everything so they can be nice and neat, and I'll just be using some of my fabric glue to complete that. Now I am going to take these hooks from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to place them at the top of the frame so that I will be able to add my rod once I put my curtains on there. And once I see where I want them lined up at, what I'm going to do now is just take the hot glue, apply it to the back, and then I'm just going to attach it. Once I get them attached, I am going to place the dowel in there again just to make sure that everything is lined up. Then I'm going to get my fabric that I ironed, and I am just going to work on one at a time. I'm going to use my fabric glue to glue my folds down on each side. So I'm just going to add some hot glue along the folds and tap it down to make sure that everything stays in place. Now I'm going to do this on 3 sides, but when I get to the top where I'm actually going to put the rod through, I'm only going to add the hot glue along the top so that I can still have that opening to slide the rod through. And so I'm just going to finish going around here, making sure that I have everything tacked down. And so after I get everything tacked down, then what I'm going to do is just get my rod and slide my curtain right onto the rod. And then I'm going to hot glue down the other curtain, and I'm going to add that to the rod as well. Once I get both of my curtains on there, then what I'm going to do is attach it to my frame. And so I'm just going to place it right over the hooks, just like an actual curtain. I think this is so cute. And then now what I'm going to do is take my other items to decorate this. So I originally took 2 of these pumpkins that have the wires on them, and I wrapped it around each curtain to hold it back. I eventually end up removing these pumpkins and just wrapping some jute cord around the curtains to hold them back. I probably will add the pumpkins back later, but I wasn't super happy with how it looks, but I did change that up. So now what I'm going to do is pull the greeneries off of the bunch, and I'm going to just start hot gluing this greenery down to the frame. Just taking pieces here and there and hot gluing it down. And then after I get that down, I did decide to grab some little acorns and pine cones that I had, just a few of them to blend in with the pumpkins and the greeneries. I wanted to bring in just a little bit of color. Where I'm bringing in my little pine cones and my little acorns, and I'm just going to hot glue those down. And then after I get that complete, what I'm going to do is flip this frame over to add a hanger to the back so that I can have the option to hang it. I always use that wire jute cord from the Dollar Tree, and I just staple it on the back. And here is how it turned out. I think this is so pretty. I cannot wait to style this with my fall decor, and I like that I actually can switch out the style curtains. I think this just came out really pretty. And now I'm going to get started on the next DIY. I have 4 of these wood pieces from the Dollar Tree and these beautiful sunflowers and maple leaves from the Dollar Tree as well. I originally was going to use these little pieces of craft sticks that I cut off, but I'm not going to use those, and I'm using the same color stain. I'm just sanding down these pieces because they were a little rough. I am just going to create a really basic frame to style these beautiful flowers on them. I'm just going to arrange my sticks how I want them to be glued together. And like I say, this is going to be really simple. I just wanted the florals to be the focus point. So after I get them lined up and hot glued together, I am going to go in with my staple gun to secure this piece. I originally was going to use those little pieces of craft sticks to add extra security, but I'm just going to go around with my staple gun like I usually do and add some staples. This is a really simple and easy Dollar Tree DIY. So after I sand everything down, I'm going to go in with that early American stain and stain this entire piece. After I get that complete, I'm going to take that Dollar Tree jute wire and just staple me a piece to the top so that I can have the option to hang this. And then I'm going to add my florals. I'm going to cut those maple leaves off, just cut the stem down, and I'm just going to hot glue that whole piece right to the frame. I'm just going to overlap some of the leaves to touch the top and the side, and then what I'm going to do is pour those sunflowers off of the bunch because I'm going to hot glue those down separate. I don't know if the camera is doing it any justice, but these flowers are so pretty. I mean, the colors are just beautiful. And so I'm just going to pour them off and then just kind of blend them in with the leaves and add a few of them at the bottom. This was a very simple DIY, but I think it is just so pretty for the fall. And so after I get those attached, this DIY is complete. Really simple, but so cute. Now this is how it turned out. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like. I decided to take one of the little words from the Dollar Tree out of the little pack, the little fall words, and I attached the word blessed to the bottom of it. And here is how it looked with the little blessed word at the bottom. I think adding that word is just as cute. I absolutely love how this turned out. It's to announce my giveaway. I am doing a giveaway to show you all how much I appreciate, love, and thank you all for your kindness and your support. I decided to create 2 home decor pieces to give away. I thought that just will mean so much more. It'll be coming from my heart, and I would just love for any of you guys to be able to have something that I created in your home. For a chance to win, all you have to do is comment on this video below and your name will be entered. The winner will be chosen September the 22nd, and I will announce that on my community tab. All of you all are winners in my heart, and I just want to say thank you again. To everyone, good luck, and I hope everyone stays safe. Now back to crafting. From the Dollar Tree, I have 4 of these little square wood pieces. I'm also going to be using a large dowel and a small dowel that they sell as well. I have another one of those long wood pieces. I'm going to be using some of their poster letters, and I have 2 of these really pretty fall picks from Walmart for 97 cents. I'm going to be using some plaster color chalk paint and a little bit of this antique wax. Now what I'm going to do first is attach all my wood pieces together. I'm going to take these squares and I'm going to add my ends first. I always like to add the ends first to make sure that everything lines up without me having to do too much measuring. And so I'm just going to add those on first, and then I'll go in and add the centers. And after I get that hot glue down, I'm going to add my dowels along the side, and I'm going to add my longer dowel first, starting from the end, and then I'm going to hot glue the shorter dowel down, just connecting it to the first dowel. And this was a perfect fit. After I get that complete, I'm going to take my Dollar Tree sanding block and just sand over this piece before I go in and paint it, because I want to sand off any glue that may seep through. Now I'm just going to take that plaster color and I'm going to paint this entire piece. So after I get this painted, I am going to go in with the Dollar Tree sanding block and sand over it again, because sometimes this plaster color will go on really thick and I just want to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. After I get that complete, I am going to attach my hanger to the back, and I use my jute wire from the Dollar Tree to create my hanger. I'm just going to cut off a piece and then I'm just going to staple it to the back. And after I get that complete, I'm going to get my poster letters from the Dollar Tree and add the word fall. So I'm going to add the F to the top square, and then I'm just going to go down each square until I spell out fall. And then after I get that complete, what I'm going to do is go in with that antique wax and I'm going to dry brush over this entire piece. Now I'm going to dry brush along the sides, and then I'm going to go over the letters as well. I'm saving going over the letters so much to the last part because I'm going to Mod Podge over those letters, and I like to add my Mod Podge to the antique wax before it dries so that it can smear some. I don't know if that makes sense, but I want to smear the antique wax a little bit over the letters because it kind of give it a tint, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to add my Mod Podge to secure my letters, and if you can see, it's kind of smearing that antique wax, which is giving it a little color over those letters. And so after I finish doing that and then that dries, what I'm going to do is add my fall pick along the side, and I just clipped all of my pieces off the pick so that I can hot glue them down separate. I thought this is a really cute fall piece to style with another piece. I just thought this was cute, something a little different. And I'm just going to hot glue one of those pumpkins in the center and then add the last two little leaves. And then after I get those attached, this DIY is complete. I think it is really cute. And I'm actually going to style this with that frame that I created. I think this turned out so cute. And I am going to style this in my doorway. I think it'll look really nice there. Now for the next DIY, I'm going to be using 4 of these wood pieces, the rectangular pieces from the Dollar Tree. And I have these sticks. I got these off Amazon like a year ago. And I'm going to be using some of this orange stain that I picked up for 74 cents at Hobby Lobby. What I'm going to do first is hot glue my wood pieces together. Now, for those sticks, you can just pick up some regular sticks outside. I would try to find the link to these sticks and I'll attach it in the description box below. Like I said, I bought these a year ago for a project, but the sticks was actually too small, but now they are coming in handy. So after I get everything hot glued together, I am going to just sand over these wood pieces to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. I am going to create a hanger for this piece as well. After I get that complete, what I'm going to do is staple these pieces together for extra security, and then I'm going to go in with that stain and stain the entire piece. After I get everything stained, I am going to take that brush with the antique wax paint on there, and I'm just going to dry brush over this piece to give it a really nice distressed look. So I'm just going to brush right along the sides and right on top, just bringing in some color. I think this is turning out so pretty. And so after I get everything distressed, what I'm going to do with those sticks is I'm going to spell out the word fall. And so I'm just going to take the sticks and line them up so I can create my F. And what I'm going to do is when I need a shorter piece, I'm just going to break the sticks or use my wire cutters. I believe I use those too as well to clip them down. So some of them I broke, some of them I just used a wire cutter. And I'm just finding little pieces that I think will fit perfect, and I'm hot gluing like 2 sticks together to create the letters. So I'm going to add 2 pieces for the middle part of the F, and then I'm going to start working on the A. This was really simple, but I think this was a cute fall piece as well. I love how the sticks look up against this really pretty orange, and I love the way I distressed it. I absolutely love this fall piece here. This one may be my favorite. And I'm just going to continue now and create my 2 L's. And then after I finish that, that'll be it for this DIY. I'm not going to add anything else to this piece. I just wanted to spell out the word fall, but I think it came out really cute. I absolutely love it. Thank you all so much for watching another one of my videos. I hope you do enjoy today's video just as much as I did. If so, please remember to give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel because I would love to have you here. Here is another look of the other DIYs I created today. Let me know in the comment section below which one of these DIYs were your favorite. And remember, I am doing a giveaway. All you have to do is comment on this video and your name will be entered in for a chance to win a DIY home decor piece that I created. I just want to say thank you all again so much for your kindness. I reached 18,000 subscribers because of you guys, and I promise you I am truly grateful. My dear friends, blessings to you all, and stay safe so that I can see you in the next video.